of the day, do I take steroids? The main question is, what are steroids? You may be asking, what are steroids or anabolic steroids in specific? Steroids or anabolic steroids are a variation of testosterone. Testosterone is the manly hormone which deepens the voice, lowers body fat, and increases muscle mass. The people who use this most is actors and athletes, specifically those athletes who are at muscle mania, specifically those athletes who flex on the stage, those who be putting on some oils on them. More specifically to put on larger amounts of muscle mass and to increase their performance and strength over a short period of time. So here are the differences between anabolic steroids and supplements over the counter. Firstly, anabolic steroids are considered drugs because they change your DNA at a molecular level, meaning that these changes are irreversible regardless of what people tell you.
What?
Whereas over-the-counter supplements have no permanent change on your body, only temporary. They only work when you work. Supplements need you to work. In other words, go to the gym for them to work. But if you don't work, you won't see any results. The only thing you'll experience is gas, which is, I can't explain that. But either ways, when it comes to anabolic steroids, you might not even go to the gym, but you would have a significant amount of muscle added to you. However, that has significant consequences. And the reason why other people in these competitive muscle mania, Mr. Olympia kind of like competitions use them because they tend to give you that kind of aesthetic muscle gain that you would never ever in your life get to experience as so long as you're doing it naturally. In other words, there's a certain limit of muscle gain that you might have naturally. For a few people, it tends to increase a significant amount of hair growth on you, and it has a tendency of giving you man boobs, or the scientific name for it, which I'm going to add here because I can't spell it. The mental effects are uncontrollable amounts of anger, which is roid rage, and fear, depression, and anxiety. The reason why I'm giving this information is because there's a tendency of people who see other people having more gains, or in other words, increased muscle mass, and they instantly say that no, this person is doing steroids completely like that, which is not the case, because naturally you can also increase your muscle mass and therefore even be big, but only to a certain extent. And then there's the other category who tends to say that I am not taking that whey protein powder, for instance USN or bio, you know what I'm talking about. But either ways, they say that these things are steroids, when actually cases they are not steroids. They're just supplements, over-the-counter supplements, and they're actually good for you. Because let's say for instance you be taking about one egg a day, which is about 0.4 grams of protein. If you be taking a scoop of supplements a day, that'll be about 24 to 25 grams of protein. And the other thing is that it is liquid, so it's much easier to digest it or take the nutrients out of it compared to solids like eggs, meat, and so many more other sources of protein. So it is morely an ideal source of protein too, only works when you are already on your journey to increase your mass and have a proper diet too. My recommendation on this aspect is that you probably shouldn't take the roids or the sauce gainer, as they might say. Now, the big question of the day: do I take steroids? No, I do not take steroids. I rather prefer doing things naturally for my entire life. But it does not mean when someone is taking steroids that that person is a mean, anxious, and angry person from time to time. People are actually bigger than the drugs that they take. But in whatever reason that they do things, you shouldn't blame the drugs, but they should blame themselves because you are bigger than the drugs and you can do better than that. With that, thank you.